Y'all niggas scared. Vent, you niggas. Y'all niggas vent with me. Vent, gang. Vent. Yes, this is what we do, gang. This is what we do. You know what I mean? We on the ground. I just want y'all to, get close to the earth and just, just really feel me down here. Really feel me. Holy shit, my ass is itching. But just really feel what's going on, gang. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times, bro, we don't take time out to just be grateful. You see what I'm saying? I feel like we need to just be grateful about life. We need to be grateful. They got this big ass chair. Good gracious, brother. Get out of here. Get out of here, champ. Get out of here. Don't go too far. Go too far. But yeah, how your day is going, bro? Yes, I know this is not regular, but sometimes you gotta step outside your comfort zone. Okay? Sometimes you gotta step outside your comfort zone. Yes, this may be my comfort zone right now, but I feel like a lot of people, y'all gotta you gotta be one. You see what I'm saying? Understand that it is okay to not be okay. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing in life, let me tell you this, champ. It is okay not to be okay. If you need somebody to talk to and you can't find nobody to talk to, or sometimes nigga you just simply can't afford it, you can pull up. Pull up to my Twitch channel. Pull up to my platform. You don't have to pay. Shit, you don't even gotta you ain't even gotta follow. If you just want to pop in and just talk to me, we can talk. You know, a lot of times through my streams, bro, I've been having a lot of conversations where, what the fuck is that moving behind me? Y'all seen that? Am I tweaking? Oh, that's the wind. I'm sorry, the air is on. Let's get back serious. But anyway, what I was saying is, I feel like a lot of times, you know, we kind of take granted for life, and we gotta understand that life is way more precious than we think. Life is way more precious. It's way more precious, man. It's to the point where sometimes we kind of miss being vulnerable. We miss being attentive to the small things in life. And however you see the small things, up to you. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what's small in your life or what's large, of course. I'm here to let you know that the small things do account for something. You see what I'm saying? Don't look over them shits. You see what I'm saying? Because put it, for example, to be put in more perspective. Right now, I was setting up. I was hoping for polls and everything with my sheet, but they just sent me a damn sheet, which is okay. It's all right. We're adults. We continue to, well, we find a way to make it work. But to somebody else, it would not. It would have been a big problem. It would have, it would have shocked somebody's world. But to me, I said, you know what? We just gonna make a way. People that was watching me, they said, yo, just try something else. If you don't get polls in the mail, nigga, make your own polls. And I said, you're right. I said, you're simply right. It is okay. It is okay for something not to go the way you expect. I'm just being honest with you, gang. Let me tell you this. It is okay for something not to go the way you expect it. It does not mean that's the end of the world. No, it just means, hey, you may have to work a little bit harder. You may have to do a little bit more than you expected. It's not the end of the world. But I just want you to understand is that you cannot overlook the small things, gang. You cannot overlook the moments where, you had an opportunity to not really indulge. You had an opportunity to walk past it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was not major in the moment. But I tell you this, a few moments later, shit got big. Oh, you see what I'm saying? A situation that you could have dealt with, or that you could have faced facts with, or you could have been honest with. You could have been vulnerable. You could have confronted, could have a conversation with somebody, and then 5 years later, that shit built into something else that you was not expecting. I want you to understand that you got to be honest with yourself. You see what I'm saying? And stop thinking that you can always just have another day with it. Understand that a lot of things, everything in life, it probably might not be another day for it, be honest with you. So whatever conversation you need to have with any individual, whether it's your parents, your siblings, your best friends, or just a coworker, if y'all already work together every single day, they might as well be your everyday friends, to be honest with you. you know? Have those conversations. Be honest. You see what I'm saying? We're not, I could have just said, you know what, we're just gonna have a stream where it's all fun, laughter, everything. We do that every day. I feel like at some point we need to have every individual. I feel like this. I'll be honest. I'm be honest with you. I feel like every content creator needs to have a moment in their content or whatever you're doing just to be vulnerable. So I feel like a lot of people they look at us and they just come here for laughters, laugh, 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 laugh. And sometimes, it works a lot. But then there's other times where motherfucker just might need to have a conversation. They just might need to vent. You know what I mean? Forget my feedback. They just might need to talk. And I want to be that individual where it's like you can come to me and laugh. And at the same time, you can come to me and talk, and you see what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I put this sheet up right now. I'm glad that I decided to do this because if I ain't gonna lie, if I would have did this without the sheet, y'all could just see the whole background, everything going on, my clothes, everything. Y'all would be like, yo, this guy's wild. But me having a sheet is like having it's like a divider. You see what I'm saying? It looks like everything is divided. It's like on the other side of the sheet is my whole world, is my reality. And then on this side is everything creative. It's everything that I just love doing. You see what I'm saying? It's just me and you on this side. On that side is me, family, supporters, everybody. But on this side is me and whoever is watching, you know. So I just want to invite any and everybody that wants to come here and just have a conversation, you know. We gonna call this the sit down. This is just where we come down here and just sit, and this on this beautiful wooden floor that I probably have to sweep when I get off stream. But it's okay. It's okay. I already took a shower. I'm not dirty. But yeah, I just want people to just understand that you can be open. You can be open and you can be open and honest. There's gonna be some streams that you might see me crying. You know what I mean? I'm not crying for no reason, but I am open to let my feelings out. You see what I'm saying? To be honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm that secure with myself. I understand that, hey, you know, in order for other people to be open with themselves, they gotta see somebody else open. And I've always been that individual where if I see somebody holding in like a tear or somebody trying to be strong, I've always been that individual where I'd be like, you know what? You can be open with me. You can cry. You can cry around me. You ain't got to think like, oh, you ain't got. I gotta be hard. I gotta be all tough. I gotta be woo. It's like, bro, come on, gang. Like, we in this together. Like, promise you, everybody is living life on the same radar. Everybody's living life on the same meter, gang. We all living life on the same meter. There's days you cry. There's days you're happy. There's days you mad. There's days you sad. We all live life on the same meter. It does not matter how much money an individual got. It does not matter how much publicity or whatever they got going on. Let me tell you this. We all live life on the same meter. We all experience the same emotions. Those are real emotions. Pain, guilt, heartache, insecurities. Those are real feelings. Those are real emotions. You see what I'm saying? And I understand, yes, you want to come on here and just laugh, just have a good old time and whoop whoop. But at the same time, if I give you all my energy, understand this as a content creator, as a streamer. If I give you all my energy, understand that you're going to get all of my energy. That's not just laughing. That's not just having serious conversation. No, you're going to get all my energy. Sometimes it's going to be vulnerable conversation. There's going to be vulnerable reactions. There's going to be vulnerable, you know what I mean, actions, bro. You know what I mean? It's not all going to be. I'm not 100% a comedian. I'm not 100% a funny joke guy. You see what I'm saying? No person on earth can have a conversation every single day and it's all funny and jokes. Nigga, life ain't fun and jokes. I'm be honest with you. Nigga, life ain't fun and jokes, nigga. Life sometimes, nigga, that shit'll beat your ass. That shit'll knock you out, gang. That life is not all about fun and jokes, gang. Sometimes we gotta have a conversation. Sometimes we gotta talk to each other. Sometimes we gotta be real, nigga. Sometimes we gotta be real, gang. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all guys, right? I'm gonna tell y'all one story. My knees just got action too. I'm gonna tell y'all one story while I'm down here, right? Uh, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I met my real father, right? Met my real father. A lot of people they would say, "Yo, what the hell?" And funny thing is, I met him on Christmas. I met my real father on Christmas Day. I pulled up to his house on Christmas Day with family there, everything. They always expected me. We had like conversations before that. But the first time, our first like physical meeting was on Christmas Day. And I'm saying this because in order for other people to come on my platform and be honest, I gotta be vulnerable too. I gotta be honest too. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I understand that in my position right now, in order for others to get a breakthrough, I got to get a breakthrough also. To be real with you, I understand that. In order for others to get to the other side of their grief or their anger or their sadness or whatever they're going through, I got to display it first. So this is why I'm here. I'm willing to display it first. And you know, and this story here was nothing but emotion. You should say it was nothing but emotion, gang. Be real with you. And on this day, gang, it was on Christmas Day. It was on Christmas Day. It was 3 years ago. What's that? 2022. Yeah, 2022. I came back from overseas. I was in the Middle East for about almost a year, working, and then I came back and I actually found my real dad on what's it called? I found my real dad on ancestry.com. On ancestry.com. I found his relative, and then his relative gave me in contacts with him, and then that's when we started texting. We started texting and chatting. You know what I'm saying? And and it was nervous. It was nervous as hell. Like it was nervous. Like imagine you have never met one of your parents, and then all your life, my whole life, I only grew up, I only had my mom's, and then at the age of 22, no, I was at 23. At the age of 23, you meet your real parent, like your biological parent at the age of 23. You don't already lived your life. You don't already experience a whole bunch of wild stuff. And it's like it's like in that moment, you're just like, yo, this is real. Like this is really happening. And as a kid, you kind of sit there like you kind of contemplate like I wanted this to happen all my life. Like how what's the weird part? It's like as a kid, I wanted that to happen all my life. But then as I got older and it's about to happen, I'm in the middle of it happening, then I don't know, I just go blank. I don't know, I just went blank. I wasn't scared, I just went blank, gang. Like I was just like, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on now, like it's like you like be real, like gang, I just went blank. I went blank. But at the same time, as a kid, I kind of built up a muscle or a callus where everything I do, I go for it. Just go for it. You see what I'm saying? I always just step out the box with it. I just go for that motherfucker. And in that situation, when I met my dad, 3 years ago, my biological father, 3 years ago, on Christmas Day, on his front porch, gang, I went for it. I didn't scare, I didn't shake. My mom was like, "Do you need help? You want me to go with you?" I said, "Nah, I got it." At that point, I'm 23. Fuck it, I got it. You see what I'm saying? And when I pulled up, his wife answered the door. It was all love, everything, hugging me. My aunt was there, other family members was there. It was on Christmas Day. It was there, I was there, but he wasn't there. He pulled up about 15 minutes later with my little brother. You see what I'm saying? So imagine like you there. So I'm there in the crib, but he not there yet. And it's like, so now he's walking into a surprise. You feel me? Rather than me walking into a surprise. So I'm like, holy shit. And so he pulled up, you feel me? And it was like, yo, this nigga is really it. Like, you know what I mean? As you a kid, you ain't got your other parent, but you see that nigga, you see your other parent in real life for the first time in person, you like, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, it blew my mind. It really blew me. I'm like, yo, this is crazy as hell. You feel me? And bro, after that, we just stayed in contact, gang. It was all hug and everything. He was crying. I wasn't crying. But you gotta think about it. Yeah, my real dad was crying, but I wasn't crying. You gotta think about it, gang. For 20 years, for like probably from I was like 3 years old to probably when I was like 15, I used to cry almost every night to see my real, you know what I mean? To see my real dad. And so like to experience that at 23 game, tears done left. You know what I mean? Not left because I became cold, but it's just like when you just what I mean, at that point it wasn't no more tears. It was just I'm just anxious now. You know what I mean? I'm just happy. I'm just ready. I'm just ready for it. I knew it was gonna happen one day, but it was just like I was just like, yo, I'm ready for it. I'm just ready for it. You feel me? And dang, at that point, I was just like, yo, like I'm not I'm not going nowhere, gang. You know what I mean? And I told him that. I'm be real. I told him I said, yo, I said, Pops, I mean, I know we just met, but I'm not going nowhere. You see what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I ain't going nowhere either. You know what the wild thing is though? You know the wild thing is, to be honest with you, me and my biological father like 3 years ago, you know the real shit is? I would be more I would be more grateful if he was to see me and say, nah, I'm good. I don't want to fuck with you, son. rather than him just not being there at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Dang, I ain't gonna lie. That was my mindset that was my mindset before I met my real dad 3 years ago. That was my mindset at 23. My mindset was this. I'd rather him see me in person and know the type of life I've been living, like the no type of individual I done became before, you know what I mean? Before this nigga say, nah, I don't want to fuck with you, son. You know what I mean? Like that's real, like, you know what I mean? That's real shit. Imagine that. Like you're not seeing your real dad. I never seen him in my life. First time I see my real dad at 23 years old. And the shit I'd rather him say is the shit I'd rather for him to do is to see me in person and be like, nah, so I don't want to fuck with you, then just don't fuck with me at all. You feel me? Like that's kind of I don't know if that's insane, but that's the honest truth, gang. That is the honest truth. And I haven't gone to therapy, but I've definitely talked to a lot. I definitely talked to my close friends and close family. But to be honest with you, that was my thought process, gang. It was, I'd rather my biological say, son, I would not like. I'd rather him see me in person and tell me I don't want to fuck with you, rather than him just not fuck with me ever. You see what I'm saying? So as a child, sometimes if the biological parent like they're like my father, he was just thinking like, oh, this nigga don't really like me. Oh, this nigga don't. You know what I mean? He hate me. He don't like me for some reason. He don't fuck with me. You see what I'm saying? And when I met him that first day, before I met him last year, I mean, before I met him 3 years ago on Christmas, that was running through my mind. The whole time was running was I'd rather him see me and him tell me that he don't want to fuck with me rather than him just not being in my life. That's real shit, gang. And a lot of times I cry about that shit and just be completely transparent. A lot of times I thought I wasn't worthy. I thought I wasn't worthy of a lot of things in life, you know, until I met, Jesus Christ and he gave me purpose, he gave me love and he just revealed to me who he created me to be. But before that, we just, bro, I was just running. I wasn't going crazy out here. I was working so hard to be my better self to prove to him that I was not who he thought I was. You feel me? To be so real, like before I met my dad, like I was working to become mad rich, mad successful. I was working so hard in the corporate world and overseas and doing all this great stuff that I knew one day I always told, the crazy thing? At 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, before I met my dad 3 years ago on Christmas, I always told myself the first time he see me, I want him to know that he missed out on a great son. Real shit, real shit. That was my whole mindset. My whole mindset before I met my dad was when I meet him, I want him to know that he missed out on a great son. You see what I'm saying? And the fucked up thing is the thought I had was I'd rather my real dad see me 3 years ago when I met him for the first time. I'd rather him see me and say, son, I don't fuck with you, than him just not being here at all with no explanation. You see what I'm saying? And I had a conversation with other people that don't have a biological parents and and they think it was the same as mine. It was like, yo, I'd rather my parent just say, I'd rather my real mom and real dad just tell me, yo, I don't fuck with you, rather than rather than them just not being here with no explanation. You see what I'm saying? I think that right there was like that shit taught me like, yo, like we all gonna make mistakes, gang. We all gonna make mistakes. But we have the power to forgive. You see what I'm saying? We got the power to keep loving. You see what I'm saying? And to be real with you, gang, it's like, we 3 years in, we 2 years in our relation. No, we 3 years in our relationship now. Since I met my father 3 years ago on Christmas, my real dad for the first time in my life. And the fucked up thing is like I love the nigga. I love him so much, but at the same time, a lot of times my mom be fucked up and my mom be thinking, yo, what happened? What if he just loved me because he don't want to show nobody else that he fucked up? You see what I'm saying? Or what if he loved me because it's what I mean, it's too late. You know what I mean? It's too late to walk away now. You know what I mean? It's like, how something like a lot of times I just begin fucked up things in my head, and excuse my language, but I just constantly pray and I just constantly be, in conversation with Jesus, man, and just he helps me a lot. He helps me a lot. I'm trying to stop cursing. I'm so sorry, but I'm just being honest. Like, sometimes you get those mental blocks, you get those mentals, attacks where you just like, yo, what happened if this all a ruse? Or, you know what I mean? Or It's just not even real. Like, I ain't gonna lie. For the first couple months after I met my dad for the first time 3 years ago on Christmas, the first couple months game after we met, I literally thought it was all a dream. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was all a dream. And as a child, bro, as a child, I used to dream of that. I used to dream of that day and meet my real dad. I used to dream of that day. And after I met him for the first couple weeks and months after that, I thought it was a dream game. I'm like, yo, this can't be real. You know what I'm saying? Or I just thought like we was just gonna stop talking. I ain't gonna lie, I thought we was gonna stop talking, or I just thought he was just doing this to show his family like, all right, I'm the bigger man, or I just you know what I mean? I just a whole bunch of fucked up things was just going through my head, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just came here to be honest with y'all and just be real, bro, and just let y'all niggas know like shit real, gang. Life is real. And sometimes you gotta let it out. You feel me? Sometimes you gotta let it out, gang. And we here. We here. I'm here to be vulnerable. I'm here to be open with y'all guys because I want y'all to be open with me. You know what I mean? Obviously, y'all may not know me from a can of paint, but understand my heart is pure. My heart is pure. And whatever I tell you, however you use it, that's on you, gang. You know what I mean? As long as I got the therapy out of my system, then that's all that matters. You feel me? But yeah, man. I appreciate everybody, bro. That was dope. That was a dope listening, bro. That was a dope listening.